Have you ever built the same tax calculation on 5 different buttons in your Canvas app, then had to fix a typo in all 5 places? Today that ends. We're diving into 2 brand new PowerFX features that let you write your business logic once and reuse it everywhere. Named formulas give you global values that always stay current, no manual updates required. User-defined functions let you package a calculation, like a pricing formula, into something you can call from any screen. We'll open the actual .fx.yaml file in VS Code, wire it into a real quote builder app, and compare it side by side with the old set and collect approach so you can see exactly why this matters. Let's set the stage with a few plain English definitions before we touch any screens. A Canvas app is the drag and drop app builder inside Power Apps, and the language that drives its logic is called PowerFX. Think Excel formulas but for building whole applications. The traditional way to store a calculated value is set, which creates a variable, and collect, which builds a table, but both only update when that exact line of code actually runs. Named formulas flip that around. You declare a value once, like tax rate, and PowerFX keeps it live automatically, like a spreadsheet cell. User-defined functions, or UDFs, let you write a formula with real parameters and a return type. Both live in a plain text file called .fx.yaml, editable directly in VS Code, Microsoft's free code editor. So how does PowerFX actually turn that YAML file into working app behavior? Here's the life cycle. First, your .fx.yaml file is saved, either in VS Code or through Power Apps Studio. Second, the PowerFX parser reads every named formula and function definition, checking the syntax is valid. Third, and this is the clever part, PowerFX builds a dependency graph, mapping out which formulas depend on which other formulas or data sources. Fourth, it evaluates every named formula in the correct order, so a formula like discounted total, which depends on tax rate, always gets the right value even though you never explicitly called it. Finally, your app screen loads with all that global state already calculated and ready to bind to controls. Let's look at real PowerFX code for named formulas. Notice there's no set keyword and no app.onStart event needed. You simply write the formula name, an equals sign, and the expression, then end with a semicolon. Tax rate equals 0.08, discount threshold equals 100, company name equals the text Northwind Traders. These aren't variables you assign once, they're living formulas. If tax rate referenced the data source instead of a constant, it would recalculate automatically whenever that data changed. You write these directly inside the named formulas section of your .fx.yaml file, and Power Apps Studio picks them up the moment you save. No button and no start screen logic required. Let's get hands-on and open the actual file. Here I am in VS Code and I've opened formulas.fx.yaml from the SRC folder of my pricing app project. This is a plain text YAML file, which just means it organizes settings using indentation instead of curly braces. Notice the Power Platform Tools extension in the sidebar. That's what lets VS Code understand PowerFX syntax and sync changes back to your Canvas app. Right now, you're looking at the top of the file where the named formulas section begins. This is genuinely the same file Power Apps Studio reads from, so anything you type here shows up in your app the next time you sync. Now let's scroll down a little. You can see the named formulas block listing, tax rate, and discount threshold exactly as we discussed, each one indented under that heading. Right below it starts a new section called User-Defined Functions, and this is where our reusable functions live. Keeping these separate matters, named formulas are meant for simple global values, while user-defined functions are for logic that needs input parameters and repeatable steps. Structuring your file this way also makes code review painless. A teammate can glance at this YAML and immediately understand what global state exists and what calculations are available without ever opening Power Apps Studio. Let's zoom into the calculate total function signature specifically. Notice it declares its parameters with explicit types, quantity as number and unit price as number, then a colon and number again for the return type. That's the big difference from a formula you'd type inline on a button. A UDF documents exactly what it expects and what it gives back, almost like a mini contract. This also means PowerFX can catch type mismatches immediately while you're editing, rather than surprising you at runtime. Once you save this file, Power Platform Tools syncs it back to your app project automatically. Here's the complete definition side by side. Calculate total takes quantity and unit price, both numbers, and returns. Quantity times unit price times 1 plus tax rate. Notice it's reusing our named formula right inside the function body. Below it, apply discount takes a total and returns either 90% of that total if it's above our discount threshold or the original total otherwise using a simple if statement. Write this once, and every button, label, or screen in your app can call calculate total or apply discount by name instead of retyping this math everywhere and hoping you copied it correctly each time. Now let's see this working inside an actual app. This is Power App Studio and I'm looking at the new quote screen inside our quote builder app. Focus on the quantity input here. It's a completely ordinary text input control. A user just types a number like 12. Nothing about this control is special yet. It's the properties bound to other fields where our named formulas and UDFs actually get used. So keep watching as we move down the screen. Now look at the total price field. Its text property isn't a hard-coded number. It's bound to the formula calculate total open parenthesis quantity dot text unit price dot text close parenthesis. Because that function already multiplies by 1 plus tax rate internally, this label always shows $583.20 for 12 units at $45, and it recalculates instantly the moment quantity changes with zero extra code on this screen. Right next to it sits discounted total, bound to apply discount of total price.text. Since our order total is above the $100 discount threshold we set earlier, this field automatically shows $524.88, a 10% discount applied. Notice there's no button labeled apply discount anywhere. The calculation just flows through the moment the total updates because we're calling a function directly inside a property formula. Here's the part that really saves you time. There's no on-start formula setting variables, no button running set commands, and no risk of this screen showing outdated numbers because someone forgot to click save. Everything you see, total price and discounted total, is driven purely by named formulas and UDFs recalculating live, the same way a spreadsheet recalculates a formula the instant you change one cell. Let's compare this honestly to the set and collect approach you may already know. Set creates a variable that only updates when that specific line of code runs. So if you forget to call it on a new screen, you get a stale, wrong value silently. Named formulas recalculate automatically the moment their inputs change, exactly like a spreadsheet cell, so there's no stale state to debug. UDFs mean you write and test one definition of a calculation instead of pasting the same tax math onto 10 different buttons across your app, each one a chance for a typo. And because it all lives in fx.yaml, you get real version control and code review in Git, something a formula bar alone simply can't give you. Let's recap the whole journey from file to running app. You save changes in .fx.yaml, whether that's in VS Code or Studio's formula view. The PowerFX compiler passes every formula and function for correctness. It builds a dependency graph, figuring out exactly which formulas rely on which other formulas or data. Then it registers all your named formulas and user-defined functions into the app's global scope. Finally, your screen renders with everything already calculated and ready. No app don't start delay, no waiting on button clicks to populate values your users need immediately. So next time you catch yourself writing set 6 times for the same number, remember you've got a better tool now. Named formulas give you always current global state. UDFs give you one reusable, typed, testable calculation you can call anywhere in your app. Start small, move your tax rate or discount logic into a .fx.yaml file this week, and watch your app get easier to maintain overnight. If this helped you, hit subscribe here on CRM Ons. We're building out a whole series on modern PowerFX patterns, and I'll see you in the next video.